Even though it's weird because you're trying to kind of expand upon and find nuance in this lolly argument when it's the most black and white of all of them. But you're black and whiting this video games cause violence argument to make your argument more nuanced. Make it make sense, please. In that same vein, you get normalized to lolly content and you're gonna start to think that this is normal. That's why it shouldn't be more regularly accessible. 2 reasons. 2 very easy, simplistic reasons. Not to mention the fact that if that behavior ever did elevate past, just fiction, we've got a real fucking problem on our hands. There are many other ways to try to, educate or therapize, to get people therapy out of this kind of behavior. Many other ways to do it, other than being like, here, watch lolicon to satiate your hunger. Fuck off. All right, so I guess let's move on to Sam Candle, shall we? Okay, Jesus Christ. Okay, so I came across these 8 days ago, and I've been wanting to talk about them on stream, and I finally got the guts to do it. Okay, so let's do the Sam Candle stuff. So Sam Candle chooses to defend her enjoyment of lolicon. Huh? So we've got, this is partially an allegations post and news post. However, both flares cannot be used simultaneously. Whatever. For those who are unaware, Sam Candles is a gaming YouTuber, TikToker, and VTuber who prior to this situation stood at 15K subscribers on her channel. On her Discord server, she admitted to a very controversial and borderline deplorable belief regarding her views on lolicon, and proceeded to defend it, leading to my friend, another YouTuber, to get kicked from her Discord for criticizing and showing disgust towards said view. A few videos have been released regarding this, albeit they all come from very small YouTubers who can't make this information more widespread due to this. Sam herself has posted a video regarding the controversy, but throughout it has attempted to downplay her actions by comparing criticism of lolicons to borderline queer phobia and ableism. Okay. Sam has proceeded to post on Twitter in an attempt to gain some degree of sympathy, seemingly which has resulted in her stating more questionable things. I will mark this post as NSFW due to the troubling subjects within this controversy. So you think jacking it to a child is fine? Someone named Honeybee says. Sam Candles responds and says, if they're not real, yes. Yeah, I can't explain why. But I just immediately see screenshots like this, and this is the first thing I think of. I just want to know when the pain's gonna be over, I just want to know when the pain's gonna be over.
When will there be no more death?
When will there be no more death? See, it actually is not showing the full thing. The full thing has the weird little guy, the weird little gas tank walking around. Why don't we get to see that? We don't get to see the weird little gas tank walking around. It's very sad. But yeah, I mean, I'm the little bird in this situation. I'm the little purple bird asking when there will be no more death. Okay? That's me. Okay. Awesome. Okay, next one. Again, there's no evidence towards this sort of material leading to more harm against actual children. And also, liking them is not the issue. It's the acts that people commit, not the thought. Ha! You ever heard of thought crime? Yeah, awesome. So then, Sam on their Blue Sky says, I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping because I spend basically all day recently anxiously checking my comments and the general internet to make sure that no one is doxing or slandering me. It fucking sucks, to be honest. I guess they won. I'm more mentally distressed than I have been in a few months because I feel like these people will not be happy until I'm dead. Okay. Do these people not feel shame for using drama YouTuber lolcow tactics on another trans person? Do you not see how this puts me in danger? Don't harass her means nothing when you use emotional charged language to imply that I'm a danger to society. You literally said you're fine with lolicon.
Here's another Brambletown song to wash the rancid taste from our mouths.
Thank you for the 5, Jathus. We'll get to it. I promise. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, so this is really rough. There's some crazy whiplash with going from a messiah that's treated like the god of trans girls to a pariah who must be outed from this community because of my morals. Now I'm just the god of woke lolicons instead. Exceptional. Great fucking news. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, woke lolicon. Yeah. So then we got this update a couple of days later. Digging yourself into a bigger hole. God complex and victim complex at the same time. You know what that's called? Typical narcissism. Typical narcissistic personality disorder. Not to diagnose, not to say that's what it is, but I mean, that's very typical of people who do have that, right? Very typical behavior, oscillating between the victim and God, oscillating between, I'm the main character to I'm, the person who every bad thing has happened to, right? I almost like the pseudo-Christ figure sort of language, right? So Sam Candles digs herself a bigger hole. Let's see. Sam Candles, following the allegations against her, has continued to make increasingly more concerning statements regarding her fetishes, despite the backlash from already previously alluding to them. Following my prior post, she has since deleted her account due to being unable to defend herself within said post. As seen with the images above, Sam has chosen to make it public knowledge that she has a fetish for incest, rape, age regression, grooming, and is now outright admitted for being a fan of lolicon. Whilst it being uncommon for a minor to use Blue Sky, it is still possible for minors within our audience to access Blue Sky due to it being 13 plus, resulting to them being exposed to this disgusting behavior marked in SFW because of the themes. So, Sam responding to one post says, "It's not even inherently sexual either. Oftentimes, it's simply pure romantic love. Just gently kissing your sister." Yeah. Okay. Hot take. Being against incest fantasies is just blatant transphobia. God. Really doing some great PR for trans people here. It's people like this that people will cherry pick and then be like, see? This is what trans people are like. Great PR. Really. We love it when people use their identity to try to get out of things. It's really great. We thrive on found family. And many, if not most, of us never had the childhood we wanted, even for a second. Wanting to be siblings that can care for one another is not just a reasonable extension of this, but kind of natural. Woo! Yeah. Incest is natural and based, guys. Yeah. By the way, it's only $50 to get me to chug a drink, and by God knows that I need it right now, so I'm just letting you know that. Nobody's obligated to donate anything. I'm just saying I'm slowly descending into wanting to murder and kill everyone around me, so that's really cool. In Minecraft, of course, because I would never seriously do anything violent. Haha, thank you. Anyways, if you look at the amount of trans femmes who age regress with their sister girlfriends and think, this is because they are the icky bad eggs of the group, you fundamentally do not understand the trans experience. They are the realest fucking ones out there. I really love how you're essentially saying, this is so normal for trans people to do, that most of them do it, and if you don't do it, you're just lying to yourself. Very cool. Great PR for the trans people. We love this, yes. Thanks. Lovely. So then we have, even when some trans people want to hate and defame me for things I've said, I don't wish harm upon them. I think all trans people deserve to be loved and have freedom to express themselves. I hope they can self-actualize some sort of empathy for the people they are expressing hatred of. That's all. Cheaton says lolicon rights. Great. Yep. Lovely. Justice for all trans people, regardless of how much freaks they are. Okay. And then this was their pin post. Anyways, I'm a lolicon. I'm also into CNC, consensual non-consent, if you don't know. I am an age regressor, usually to around 13. I have a kink for the ideas of being groomed. Dear Lord, please give me strength. Amen. Okay. All right. I'm also a macrophile and want girls to step on me. Screen cap this and call out how weird I am. Fuck you. I'm not scared. Okay. Responding to a tweet from her saying, what I do in my sex life or private with the people I love is no one's business, but these ghoulish people have forced me to speak up about it because I'm scared if I don't, it's only going to get worse for us. Again, making this an identity issue, because this is all about being trans, right? Not the weird, disgusting fetishes you have. It's about being trans. Blue Sky is not real. I know. I feel like this is the kind of shit I see anytime I see a post on Blue Sky. Dude, it's Map Haven over there. It's Map fucking Haven over there. I hate it. And then so responding to the thing that we already read, I forgot the incest. Sorry, guys. I forgot the incest. Help me. Why do people like this exist? Why do we allow people like this to exist?
What?
Paying for a prayer for yourself, bro. Shit is horrid.
Thank you for the 10. We'll get to the prayer after the segment. Thank you. It's just so normalized in my brain, I didn't even think to mention it. Like, sister is just another word for girlfriend. What's the big deal? Sister is just another word for girlfriend. Do you feel that at the back of your throat? It's your gag reflex. And it happens when you hear something just so disgusting and deplorable. And it's like a natural thing that you, as a member of society, as a member of normal society, get when you hear stuff like this. This should be revolting to you. This should be disgusting to you. This should be unacceptable to you. That means you're a normal person, okay? So if you feel that at the back of your throat, just know that you're a normal person, okay? Just know you're a normal person. Just know that you're doing the right thing if you feel that, okay? Because I know I do. It's sneaking at the back of my throat, right? I'm not saying that it was right, but we did used to kill people like this. We did, you know. We used to. Not saying it's right, of course. Would never condone violence. Oh, of course. There's more. Guys, there's more. Sorry about that. There's more. So, yep. There's always more, guys. There's always more. There's always more, okay? It's just always better. It's always better and better, you know what I mean? It just always gets better and better and better and better. Always gets better and better. Do you like just seeing how horrible the world is? Isn't that great? Isn't it great to just see how horrible the world around us is? It's so lovely, right? Yeah, okay. This is the only time I'll super blatantly post about my kinks, but I don't want these fuckers to control the narrative about me, so I hope they enjoy this new ammunition. I know you people are stalking my page on here. Have fun. Oh, wait. I also gotta add that nearly all of these things are my way of coping with being groomed by adult men when I was a teenager. If you harass me over them, then you were trying to hurt an autistic trans girl for trying to deal with her trauma. But you probably don't care about that, do you? Go to therapy. Go to therapy, you dumb fucking retard. Nobody is saying that you should have been groomed, but you handle your trauma responsibly, and you don't project it onto other people, you dumb fucking retard. It has nothing to do with the reasoning behind why you have them has everything to do with what you've been through, but the reason why you are still accepting them and acting like it's normal behavior has everything to do with you, and it has nothing to do with any of that other shit. There's no fucking excuse. Go to therapy and become a normal fucking person, like everybody else does. I don't give a fuck. As soon as it starts affecting other people, as soon as you start projecting this shit outwards and defending this shit and acting like it's a normal thing, I don't give a fuck what you've been through. I do not fucking care, okay? I'm the rape champion, Chad. I'm the rape champion. I've been raped 3 fucking times. I've been falsely accused of rape. I've had all this terrible shit happen to me, right? You don't see me saying any of this shit. Because I know, first of all, I don't have any desire towards any of that, so I guess in that way I'm lucky that the trauma didn't affect me in that way. But on the other hand, even if I did, right? Even if it's, let's give a hypothetical here. That, as a result of all my trauma, it did make me into that kind of person or whatever. I would seek therapy and I would get better because I know that none of that stuff is normal, nor should it be normalized. It's that fucking simple. It's not this difficult thing to do, right? It's so fucking stupid. Okay? There's literally nothing I can do to change about this. Exactly. This weird attitude of acting like, oh, I can't do this. I couldn't change. I've been traumatized. You're letting your trauma dictate who you are forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever. And it's pathetic. It's genuinely pathetic. You can't use the things that you've been through as an excuse to be an evil, shitty person. Sorry. It's an explanation. It's not an excuse. It doesn't alleviate you from consequence. Fix yourself. Everybody goes through shit. It's not about what you go through. It's about how you respond to it. That's what it's about, right? If anything, the trauma makes it worse. Why would you defend people getting off to the thing that traumatized you? Correct. 100% agree. So, yeah, I mean, this is disgusting. But guess what? It gets worse, okay? It gets worse. They made a video, chat. So let's see their video here. Let's see. And I haven't heard their voice yet, but let's see if we're gonna be surprised. All right, I'm gonna preemptively do a poll here. All right, is the way Sam Candle sounds surprising to you? All right. Don't vote yet. Let's listen to their voice.
Disclaimer. This is a video about adult topics for adults. I will be mentioning not just the concept of lewd artwork as a whole, but things like pedophilia, rape, general hard case.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
As well as a few mentions of extreme violence. I have not censored any of my wording, so I expect you to act mature about it as well.
It's the usual. It's the usual. It really is, Jathus. It really fucking is. It's the usual.
These things, or even worse, a child, get out of here. Go somewhere else. I would also...
If you're a little jit, get the freak out of here. Let's see kind of the age demographic they usually cater themselves to, because that becomes an important question when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? So let's see. So, do you remember Scratch? It's talking about like the little Scratch thing. A video about Sam Candles. YTP, Sonic the Lost World. What makes Sonic special? The best game on the Game Boy. I'm thinking that this is all ages sort of content so far. I mean, this kind of seems like stuff kids and adults would watch, right? YTPs, Sonic content, basic video game content. Like, obviously, this is somewhat catered towards children, right? So to have a video about this shit is insane, first of all. Is their Discord just gone now? Is their Discord gone? Okay, well, I guess we're not going to be able to get into the Discord because I wanted to see if it was age-gated. But, okay.
Also like to ask you to not make any broad assumptions about me or the point I'm trying to make until after you've seen the entire video.
Well, we've seen all of your Blue Sky posts about this already, but, you know, with that being said, we'll draw a clean slate and we will let you lay out your position without making any broad assumptions about you or the point that you're trying to make, all right? We'll respond to it as we come, okay?
Thank you. What art should be allowed to exist? This is a question I've been asking myself since I was young, and now that I have my own answer to it, it's a question that has naturally come up.
So we're already using the like chibi reviews slash usual lolicon sort of defense where we say what art should be allowed to exist, so we're regarding this as art, okay?
A lot when I discuss art with others. When does a creative work cross the line into the wrong, the immoral, the societally unacceptable? While there are plenty of ways someone could answer this question, my personal stance is one that will definitely seem radical to many. I simply believe there shouldn't be an arbitrary line. As someone who is very passionate about art and human freedoms, I feel it should be painfully obvious that systematic censorship based on vibe.
Okay, so no arbitrary line. I would like to see where that actually goes in terms of like extremities and stuff like that. Are you gonna work now? Okay. I'd like to see where that goes in terms of extremities. Like is the Shadman art of Daphne Keem, the girl from Logan, was that okay? Was the picture of Keemstar's daughter licking a microphone, if you know, you know, from Shadman, was that one okay? So there's no arbitrary line in this person's ideals, okay? So what is okay and what's not in that case?
Is a bad thing. In my opinion, the only art that can be inherently immoral is art created through or with the intent of hurting another human being. But when you have this
Okay. What a strange... Okay. This is a really, really strange standard. This is a really weird standard.
Based on vibes is a bad thing. In my opinion, the only art that can be inherently immoral is art created through or with the intent of hurting another human being.
Okay, so I need you to understand what is being said here. This means all political cartoons are immoral and bad. This means that all like war propaganda from World War II is immoral and bad. This means any hit pieces created on people are immoral and bad. This means that any like kind of like political cartoon targeting anyone or trying to point out the absurdity of something, like trying to hurt a person, is immoral and bad. It would make it, I mean, it would say that the Shadman stuff would be immoral and bad because, well, but wait a second. I don't think it was done with the intention to hurt someone, at least with... What? Okay,
I
hold
hate
on.
these people because you can't even be normal. Like, I'm against censorship, but then you have these freaks who jump in and agree, but it's only because they want to harm children and animals, etc.
Correct. Thank you for the 20. I really appreciate it, Jathus. And you're completely right on the money on that one. But so, I mean, with Shadman, when he did the picture of the X-23 girl, when like in response to Logan, I don't think that was done with the intent to hurt the X-23 girl. So in that case, would it be okay? If it's all about intention, is it okay? Because the intention wasn't to hurt them. Free speech absolutism and its consequences. The annoying part about this is, like, it's, like, actually a very shallow framing that, like, eliminates so many, like, good pieces of art because they are targeted towards someone else. Like, they're a diss or whatever. Like, this makes zero sense. This is really stupid.
But when you have this stance, it does ultimately end up leading to the defense of things a lot of people have very strong feelings about. Sometimes it can be something most people can agree upon, like the fact violent video games should be allowed to exist. Or it can be things that are a lot more contentious, like art depicting immoral sexual acts. I've seen it firsthand that a lot of people agree with me in regards to being anti-censorship and for freedom in art until they realize how broad that scope really is. So, let's get into the main topic at hand here. Lolicon is, bluntly put, a genre of artwork and fiction involving young, sometimes even prepubescent girls, particularly in suggestive
God, what a crazy pause.
or outright sexual scenarios. In some contexts, the word
okay, what are we gonna do with that?
Can also be used to refer to someone who seeks out and enjoys these sort of works. And most importantly for the context of this video, it is possibly the singular most controversial type of art you can defend the existence of, especially in the context of the modern day internet. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Probably something along the lines of course it should be controversial. It's sexualized minors.
Yes.
And, of course, considering how children cannot consent and the taboos of our culture, it does make sense how many, even most people, would come to this sort of conclusion. And obviously, I also don't blame anyone for being grossed out by the concept itself. But is it inherently immoral?
Great point from Flynn here. I fucking hate the video game equals violence argument. The reason why nobody at your school bats an eye when you say that you 100% Doom is because they're under the assumption that you're playing the game, not jerking off to the blood and guts. Exactly. Same can't be said with lolicon. Right.
Should it be censored? Should it be illegal? I don't think so, and I'll explain why.
Let's hear it!
Fiction?
Well, it's because I want to jerk off to it. Yeah, okay.
Is something powerful. With writing,
Fiction is something powerful. What a fucking segue that one is. What a fucking segue that one is. Fiction is powerful, guys. Getting to depict little girls in sexual scenarios is just so powerful. It's so powerful, guys.
Drawings, with whatever sort of medium art takes on, we can realize fantastical things that would never be able to be expressed or realized through reality itself. But in the same way, we can explore things that are immoral, evil, and disgusting in real life through the power of fiction.
You know that lolicon isn't created with the intention to be like, this is a terrible, immoral, disgusting thing, right? It's not shown to show that it's evil and horrible. In fact, I think if like, this is why people are okay with stuff like, you know, these really evil people who are depicted in media, like Judge Holden, like, rapes children, but it's not like it glorifies the raping of children, okay? And that's why it's fine, right? Like, a lot of these things, like having a rape scene in a movie, it doesn't glorify the rape most of the time, and if it does, then you kind of have an argument as to why it's probably not great, okay? You know, there's a lot of complicated and kind of nuanced conversations to be had around something like that, but when it comes to lolicon, when the clear objective of the art itself is for the, you know, your own, like, gratification, let's say, then no, there's not really a nuanced conversation to be had, right? This shouldn't be a crazy concept. Acting like it's like, oh, we're just depicting the evils. That's not what you're doing. You're not depicting it because it's evil, and you're not trying to say this is a horrible thing, you should feel bad about it. You're wanting to jack off to it. You're drawing it in a way where you are attempting to make it as sexually promiscuous as possible and, you know, driving this explicit attraction towards children. Okay? So, you know, it is a glorification of this. So that argument just immediately falls upon deaf ears. It's fucking retarded, okay? Like, yeah, there's a reason that Lolita the book is still around. That's right, because it doesn't glorify it. That's right. Like, the dude who, like, you know, has sex with the little girl is, like, a terrible person. He's very clearly a terrible person, right?
And this is a good thing. In 1997, the video game Postal came out. Unlike its much goofier sequel.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? What?
Are these the same who defend AI versions of it?
Well, obviously. If they defend the art itself, why wouldn't they defend the AI version? Thank you for the 2. Are you fucking kidding me right now, though? This is such bullshit. You're just going to the video games cause violence thing. This, again, did people have their cocks in their hands when they were playing Postal? Are they getting sexual gratification or just gratification in general from killing random civilians? No, it's a fucking video game. It's a fucking video game. It completely different parts of the brain, by the way.
It nearly plays its concept entirely straight. It is, in essence, a mass shooting simulator, presented like a twin-stick shooter. I can acknowledge that it's not a perfect game, and as far as I know, it was created to just intentionally stir up controversy.
This is like the type of people who say that Hotline Miami glorifies violence, but that isn't inherently problematic. You're just wrong. You have no media literacy, and you're wrong, okay? Hotline Miami makes you feel guilty as shit about killing people if you, like, actually pay attention, right? Like, I mean, it's stuff like this. I mean, the Postal game, you know, fucking Jesus Christ, it makes me so mad.
But regardless of its intent, I think it says something interesting about art and ourselves. Is it okay to enjoy a game about shooting up innocent people? Is it okay to make a game about shooting up innocent people?
Are you retarded? Does it glorify the violence and say that it's a good thing and that we should do it? Is the protagonist a completely stable person who's doing the right thing? Is it, like, dude, you're asking the wrong questions. What are you talking about? You're thinking about this in such a black and white, like, broad basis. You're not seeing any of the nuance to it. Even though it's weird because you're trying to kind of expand upon and find nuance in this lolly argument when it's the most black and white of all of them. But you're black and whiting this video games cause violence argument to make your argument more nuanced. Make it make sense, please.
Well, yeah, it is. A fictional representation of a horrible, awful, immoral thing allows us to explore our darkest thoughts. Thoughts that should never be acted on in reality, which, through the power of art, can be realized in a context that doesn't have to hurt another human being. This is most apparent and most mainstream in things like uber-violent video games. But I believe the same sort of thing can apply to taboo pornography as well.
No, okay, need to hear that one more time. Need to hear it one more time.
Thing allows us to explore our darkest thoughts. Of a horrible, awful, immoral thing allows us to explore our darkest thoughts.
Not necessarily. I don't really know what you mean by that. A lot of the times it's just not, it's not really something you think about too much. You just kind of do it. It's just kind of fun. Sometimes it dissuades you from having, you know, from feeling like stuff like this is okay. I mean, this is just like, wow, okay.
Thoughts that should
spectate. The next segment is yours.
Never be acted on in reality, which, through the power of art, can be realized in a context that doesn't have to hurt another human being. This is most apparent and most mainstream in things like uber-violent video games. But I believe the same sort of thing can apply to taboo pornography as well.
No.
And there's obviously nuance to this. Art and fiction do influence the real world, especially when said art is released on a broad scale to millions of people.
Especially porn. Especially porn. Especially porn. Okay? Can we admit that much?
A lot of people's impressions of certain cultures can be informed by art, like the super harmful, gross stereotypes in Orientalism contained in Disney's Aladdin, or the...
What? Guys, Orientalism bad, also I jerk off to kids.
The military propaganda machine that is Call of Duty. But the solution to these sort of issues is never forced censorship and erasure, but a dialogue about what here actually is harmful, and what these works are trying to say. And that's whether it's a video game about killing people...
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay.
People, a doujin about sex crimes, or a Disney movie.
Fuck are we talking about?
Whether it's a video game about killing people.
Whether it's a video game about killing people. Okay. All right. So we're on the same basis.
A doujin about sex crimes.
A doujin about sex crimes. Okay.
Or a Disney movie.
Or a Disney movie. Oh, I'm going insane. 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 Wow. I wish I was not sober. Okay. All right.
A common retort against the idea of
taboo... Does she know about the COD Russian airport?
I probably would say that it's like a bad, evil thing. Thank you for the 2, Captain C. An absolute classic. Remember, no Russian. Okay?
Pornography is that it's just that. It's just porn.
Ooh, I'm really making an effort not to crash out. I am really making an effort not to crash out. I'm really making a distinct effort not to crash out. Okay. All right.
Have a drink.
Thank you so much. Holy mother of God, I needed that. Holy mother of God, I needed that. All right. Let me address this argument, and then I'll get a drink real quick. Okay. I'll play a quick video for you guys while I'm getting a drink. Let me just go ahead and address this, though. Okay? And thank you so much, Jathus, for the 50. I really appreciate it.
What?
And thank you for the 2.
Would she be saying
Thanks,
Pokemon is bad BC fighting?
No, because she didn't say that the shooting game was bad. Like Postal. No, that's not what she's saying at all. If it was just porn, right? Let's grant this. Let's grant this for the sake of argument. If it was just porn, why do we have terminology and legal stuff around showing porn to kids? Why do we have terms like EPI? Why do we have porn addiction? Why is it shown that via studies that people's ideas around sex and behavior around their partners, around women, around everyone changes based on the frequency of porn they consume and the kind of porn they consume? Why is there all of this work academically, etc., around these concepts if it's just porn? Ladies and gentlemen, tell me that. Tell me that. Why? Tell me. I'm gonna play a Doom Eternal compilation while I'm gone to show you what a real fucking awesome video game looks like. Alright? I'll be back in just a sec. Alright. So that was some based epic gameplay for you. Okay. I love me some Doom Eternal. I love me some Doom. I love me some movement shooters. Okay. Yeah. So, let's see. I poured myself a nice double shot because God knows I need it. Okay, so let's get to it. That went down the wrong hole. I almost just like choked real bad. Holy mother of God. Oh my God. Oh man. All right, we're good. Will I stream Doom? I would if I could. My computer can't even run Doom anymore. I mean, it could run like the OG, but it couldn't run normal Doom, and I don't even think it could necessarily run some of the OGs while stream is going. That's how bad my computer is at this point. We're getting real close to it just, turning off and never working again, to be completely honest. So, that sucks. Yeah. It's bleak. I don't know what I'm gonna do. If my computer just shuts down. So, set a goal for a new PC. Yeah, I need to. I was going to potentially get one from an anonymous benefactor, and that fell through, which I never expect anybody to get anything for me, obviously. But, that was hopeful for a while, and it fell apart. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens, I guess. But, yeah, I love Doom.
It's not real art because it's made to titillate. And because it's made to titillate, and it's touching...
Okay, so it's not real art because it's porn, and it's meant to titillate, okay?
...on or centered around immoral things, it, in of itself, is immoral. I have some...
What?
...centered around immoral things, it...
So, because it's touching on or centered around immoral things...
...in of itself...
...it in of itself is immoral. That's a really stupid argument. Let me break this down, right? So, we kind of already touched on this earlier, right? But, for example, Judge Holden. Judge Holden as a character breaches some very, very disturbing and immoral themes, right? There is implication of child rape. There is implication, or there's directly child killing. There's rape. There's, just general cruelty towards others. Just complete immorality. It's about those themes, but it does not glorify them. Judge Holden is depicted as a villainous, horrible figure, almost equivalent to Satan, right? Guys, Epstein's gone. Epstein's gone. I don't know how to tell you. Epstein's gone. He's never coming back. That's the most uncomfortable with saying about that. That plan's not going to work out. But, no, you know, these things that are about immoral topics, they're not in itself immoral just because they're talking about immoral things. What? What the fuck are you talking about? By that logic, PSAs against rape would be immoral because they're about rape. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Is immoral. I have some really big problems with this particular line of reasoning. First of all, where do we even draw that line? Who decides?
Where do we draw the line? Maybe pornographic content that's glorifying jacking off to kids. Maybe pornographic content that is glorifying fucking animals. Maybe pornographic content that, you know, glorifies things that are illegal for good reasons because there are victims who can never, ever unlearn any of that stuff that happens to them. Right? Maybe. I feel like that's a normal place to draw the line for 99.99% of people. Okay? I'm being generous. You can have your foot fetish. You can have your fart fetish. Stay away from me. Okay? To be clear, stay the fuck away from me. I don't want you anywhere near me. But you can have your fart fetish. You can have your foot fetish. Okay? That's fine. It's not hurting anybody. That's fine. Whatever. Don't indoctrinate children with it. But that's fine. That's fine. Stay away from me, right? But we can all draw a line here, right? Isn't that just intuitive? Right? You'd think.
Besides what's just porn and what's important art. You could point at how it's marketed, or patterns in the things the artist chooses to make, but at the end of the day, it is all still art. If even one person finds value in a lolicon beyond just getting off to it, how can you say it is just worthless art that deserves to be erased?
Guys, if the lolly has a good plot, and it teaches you about the value of friendship, it's actually a good thing. How are you to say that that's not art? I'm really, really resisting the urge to say TOS things. Guys, this is the other good news. If I'm ever able to get a new computer, when I get a new computer, I'm going to be able to dual stream on Kick. Now, what that means is a lot more VODs on the YouTube are going to go to members only. But what that also means is I can be so much less censored. All right? You're uncaging Himpleton, okay? If you, once we're able to dual stream, I am uncaged and I'm able to say some of these things that I've been wanting to say this whole fucking time, okay? Because right now, I have to hold myself back. I have to hold myself back so fucking hard. But if I was dual streaming on Kick, then I could keep those public, and then I could members only the YouTube ones, and I can just say whatever the fuck I want. Okay? My God, am I itching for that day? There are so many things that I want to say right now. There are so many fucking things I want to say right now that would get me just fucking yeeted off the platform. Okay? My God, there are some horrible, violent, evil, genocidal things that I want to be able to say, okay? But I can't, okay? So you're just going to have to imagine what I want to be able to say right now, okay?
Many famous paintings and statues from the 1500s or earlier could be...
Kill yourself. Kill yourself. And see, this is around the time, right, in Minecraft, kill yourself in Minecraft, haha. This is around the time where I want to go into a detailed diatribe over how exactly I want them to do it. You know, but I can't, because I'm caged. I'm caged, Templeton viewers. I'm caged, okay? If you want me uncaged, we gotta get a new computer, okay? God, like... Yeah, exactly, Bunglis. Because I would see some real artistic potential in that one.
What? Simple Joker on Kick is gonna go crazy.
I know. Thank you for the 2, biggest mister. I really appreciate it, buddy.
Argued to be pornographic to some degree, but are we really going to claim the Venus of...
What are we doing? See, here's the problem with this kind of shit, is like, YouTube is such a fickle mistress, because YouTube is fine with this lolicon freak, you know, showing a picture of a naked woman, but then, God forbid, I show me reacting to the picture of the naked woman, and then I'm evil. I'm evil and I need to be taken off the platform for showing somebody putting that in a YouTube video, but then the person who puts it in the YouTube video is fine. So fucking retarded.
No, isn't art? Another very fitting example is the book Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov.
Are we seriously bringing up Lolita? You clearly don't understand Lolita, but whatever, let's go for it.
Which happens to be where the lolly in lolicon comes from. Lolita is about, in short, an adult man who obsesses sexually over a 12-year-old girl.
Again, I want you guys to remember, this person makes videos on like Sonic and Mario and like, you know, kids games. It's just showing fucking naked women, okay, and talking about Lolita. Very good.
This book contains all the things that someone against the idea of lolicon would want to disallow. And yet...
Yeah, because the fucking pedophile in the story is the villain. He's villainous. He's villainous. He's evil. He's a bad person. That's why. That's why. Because it isn't a fucking glorification of it. That's why it's okay. You're oversimplifying your argument, and then at the same time, bringing too much nuance to it. You have no basis for anything you're saying.
It's widely considered one of the most impactful, important books ever written. Should it be burned, censored, unavailable to the public?
No, because it doesn't glorify it! It doesn't fucking glorify it! So it shouldn't be censored! The end. The end. Oh, a child gets molested. Guess what? It's not a good thing when it happens. The guy doing it isn't the good guy. The end. Is it that fucking hard? Is it really that hard to understand?
Intense? Should people who like the book for the wrong reasons be institutionalized? Trying to follow this logic to its conclusion is...
How are you able to like the book if you're like the wrong reason? So you're just seeing this guy who is literally depicted as this evil, selfish, disgusting freak. And you see yourself in them and you're saying, "Oh, this guy's awesome." That's you. That's you being a mentally ill freak. That's what that is. So if you like it for the wrong reason, yeah, you're probably a shitty person. You're probably evil. You're probably bad, right? If you like it because, ooh, the child gets fucked, you're probably a pedophile. Like, what do you want? What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
Well, it's just fascism. But if this sort of sense...
If you like Lolita because the kid gets fucked, it doesn't mean you're a pedophile. It means you're a fascist. Or are they saying that to censor this means you're a fascist? If you like Lolita because you like the kid getting fucked... Hold on. Let me
Considered unavailable to the public just because of its contents? Should people who like the book for the
all
wrong
the pred
reason...
based have been covered.
I know, it's like pred bingo, dude. It's fucking insane. Thank you for the 2.
Be institutionalized? Trying to follow this logic to its conclusion is...
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, guys. I completely misread the argument. It's 10 times worse than I thought it was. Thank you for joining the members. It's 10 times worse than I thought it was, guys. Guys, I'm so sorry. It's not the fact that if you like it for the wrong reasons, you're a fascist. It's if you criticize people for liking the fact that the little girl gets fucked by a man, you're a fascist. If you have criticism for people who are pedophiles who enjoy this material of a child getting fucked because it's a child getting fucked by an adult, you're the problem. You're the fascist. Okay. Yep. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense, guys.
Well, it's just fascism. But if this sort of censorship is so obviously wrong, why do so many people want it to happen? A lot of the perceived...
Because it's not obviously wrong. And when you're describing something like Lolita, which is an actual piece of art and does not glorify the fucking of children, okay? You are strawmanning your argument and acting like it applies to pornography. Lolita is not pornography. It's not. It doesn't glorify the behavior. This is so simple. It's hard. It's hard sometimes because you kind of have to decide, is this person doing this because they know what they're saying is wrong, or are they genuinely so fucking stupid? Yeah, you're right.
The morality of lolicon is it's supposedly putting children at risk by existing. That just by being...
Are they saying this because they're genuinely so stupid that they don't understand what they're saying is wrong? Or do they know they're wrong, and that's why they're jumping through all of these acrobatic, insane loops in order to feel like they're right? Which one is it? It's anyone's guess, really. It's anyone's guess. I usually tend to think that people, especially people who get this far on YouTube, if you're able to accumulate subscribers like this and you're able to be articulate and voice your opinions, right? I think that you're doing it maliciously. I think that you know what you're doing is wrong and you're coping and trying to make an argument as to why it's right. That's usually what I lean on, personally. But I'm not going to assume that. But if I have to assume, it's what I'm going to lean on, right? Because we've seen this case and case and case and case and time and time and time again and again and again and again. And it tends to be the first option. It does. That's just how it goes, right?
Being available, it's going to hurt kids.
By being available, it's going to hurt kids. This is why people think this. Let me break this down for you, Sam Candles. This is the reason why people think that with lolicon being more readily available, it's going to lead to kids being hurt. There are two different factors involved in this. The first one is normalization. Normalization makes it feel okay for these kind of activities to be glorified, even in a fictional setting, right? This applies to just about everything. When people wonder how much of a chug will $50 get me, it got 2 shots, like a large heaping double shot last time. But to go back to what I was saying, so first of all, it's normalization. It's making people feel like this kind of activity, this kind of behavior is good. And this applies to just about everything. I got in a large argument about necrophilia with Flatley. It was a great debate. It was a fun debate. I enjoyed it quite a lot. And the question that I was asked...
Okay.
Thank you so much for the 50, Joey. I really appreciate it, bud. Let me go ahead and... I'll get the drink after I finish this part of my argument, okay? So, all right. So the normalization part of it is the first issue, right? That's one of the big issues as to why this is wrong, right? With this necrophilia argument that I had with Flatley, he was like, why is necrophilia wrong? If the family never finds out about it, let's say the family never finds out about it, right? So there's no living victim to this, right? The victim's family never finds out. It's just a dead body. It's replaced afterwards. No one ever finds out about it. What's the issue with it? And the argument that I actually won on this debate was that it is actually, like, I'm not trying to use the slippery slope fallacy here. I'm just using existing evidence to show why this is wrong. Over time, with behavior like this, it amplifies to a degree. Look at someone like Ed Gein. So Ed Gein, if you don't know who he is, here, I'm gonna face scan for this because we're gonna go on a little tangent here, and I kind of want you guys to be able to see me. With Ed Gein, right? Ed Gein is what the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was based on. It's what Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs is based on, right? Ed Gein was a serial killer, but he didn't start out that way. The way that he actually started out was by digging up dead bodies in graveyards and having sex with them, taking things from the graves, etc. He started off on this lower level, and he eventually evolved into being a serial killer. There are multiple examples of this, of how degeneracy corrupts the mind. And the normalization of this behavior corrupts the mind and makes you feel like more escalating steps are okay, right? So based on that alone, something like lolicon and the glorification of this kind of behavior is wrong. On top of that, it's not just normalization. Let's take, for instance, something like, the fact, okay, so to go back to my earlier argument about stuff like porn's ability to influence the mind, right? This is kind of a split off of the normalization argument. Porn's ability to influence the mind. When more people view hardcore pornography and stuff like rape porn and stuff like that, they tend to be more violent towards women. They tend to think of women, so specifically with male viewers here, they tend to think of women more in a sense of objectification. they tend to be more violent towards women. There have been multiple studies done about this. If I ever had to, if I was in a debate setting, I could pull up these studies, but I'm not going to right now, obviously. But this is just something that has been found through evidence. This is something that's been found through medical studies. This is a behavior that happens over time. People become more jaded towards women. People think of, or men think of women in a more objectification sense, and they treat women proportionally to the porn that they're watching because they think that it's the way that normal sex works. In that same vein, you get normalized to lolly content, and you're going to start to think that this is normal. That's why it shouldn't be more regularly accessible. 2 reasons. 2 very easy, simplistic reasons. Not to mention the fact that if that behavior ever did elevate past, just fiction, we've got a real fucking problem on our hands. There are many other ways to try to, educate or therapize, to get people therapy out of this kind of behavior. Many other ways to do it, other than being like, here, watch lolicon to satiate your hunger. Fuck off. All right? Just as an FYI, it was exposed today that lolicons were covering up their interactions with an underage cosplayer in their circles. No surprise. No fucking surprise, buddy. No fucking surprise. All right. Hey, real quick, let me go ahead and get this drink. Let me reset the goal. We hit the goal, which is great. Sam Candles is going to defeat me with facts and logic. Please help. There you go. All right. Let me put this on for you guys, and I'll be back in like 30 seconds, okay? I made these points in my vid, Spindling says. Nobody seems to make these points that you are, and I think it derives from the simplest fact that most people think it's obvious as to why it's bad, which it is. It is. It's literally a priority, right? Like, I use a priori as a meme because it's a way to make people really fucking angry. Because whenever you say a priori, people get so fucking mad over it because you just say, it's common knowledge. It's knowledge upon its face. It's very obvious, right? That's what a priori means. It means it's knowledge upon its face. It's very obvious, right? It's inherent knowledge. But when it comes to why we shouldn't glorify fucking kids, that is the easiest example of a priori knowledge I can think of. That's why people don't think of adequate arguments against this, and that's why lolicons think that they win the arguments, because most common people don't even think about why this is wrong because it's so fucking obvious. It is inherently, biologically obvious. So many factors go into why this is obvious. From even if you just think of, the general, maturation age, when you think of any of these things, it is obvious on its face. But people don't think about that because of how obvious it is. That's the issue. U.S. IMS NCMEC child molesters, a behavioral analysis, talked about how most pedos use sexual depictions of minors. There you fucking go. All right, let me play this real quick. Actually, you know what I'm going to play for you? I'm going to play this. There you go. All right, that's what you listen to.
Oh no. It's the Pimpleton stream. Fuck am I looking at? I don't know where I am. I'm in a cool world with yellow balls and evil demons, and they have smiley faces. Okay, I'll sing this song in a second. I'm gonna wait for the beat to drop.
Oh my god.
Verity.
No, I was gonna sing when the beat dropped. They asked me.
All right. Here you go. Look at how much that is. That's like a triple shot.
Oh no, oh no.
Oh, God knows I need it right now. So, okay. All right, we're back. Thank you for the $50 from Joey. I appreciate it.
Meow.
I have a bunch of DMs from people. What are these? All right, just getting some epic DMs from people.
Some big stuff.
Okay. All right, we're good. So, yeah, let's go back to hell, shall we? Let's go back to hell.
Is it about lolicon stuff?
Yeah.
I like debating this shit.
Yeah.
Claim is, at the very least, unsubstantiated. And, if I'm being honest, blatantly false. Psychologist Tamaki Saito, who worked directly with otaku who consume lolicon content, noted that there's a separation from reality in the desires of those who are interested.
Let's see this. So one singular, it doesn't even seem like to be a study. Let me just hear this one more time.
Tamaki Saito, who worked directly with otaku who consume lolicon.
So notice the way that that's phrased. It's not phrased as if it's a study, it's phrased as if it's an article. Okay? Which usually means that there's not, like, cited studies on this. Okay? Just means that the guys worked with lolicons in the past.
One of Lolicon's biggest defenses is the reason why we can't say it's derived from pedophilia or it's a harm to children or whatnot is because they say there are no studies. So this kind of seems like a bit ass backwards, you know?
Well, it's not only that. There are studies that, like, show, again, like, that pedophiles have preferences for sexual depictions of children, regardless of whether or not they're fictional or not. Sexual depictions of children don't have to be fiction or nonfiction. It's a sexual depiction of a child. On top of that, though, this idea, again, I don't think this is a study. I think this is a article from a scholar, quote unquote, of people, of a guy who worked with people who are lolicons. And he came to this conclusion, so we'll read it out loud.
Content noted that
contrary to popular expectations, the vast majority of otaku, and what should be in brackets here to account for the bias, is otaku that I have worked with, okay, are not pedophiles in actual life. They are said to choose respectable partners of the opposite sex and to have the kind of sex lives one would term healthy. The evidence for this separation between contextual and actual sexuality is that only a tiny number of otakus commit criminal acts, even though they number in the millions. Okay.
What are we describing? So, okay, when I think about... Because lolicon is a Japanese thing, right? It's the hentai shit, anime. Obviously, there are going to be drawings that of kids that ain't fucking hentai. So it derives outside of Japan, right?
Yeah.
So Japan, and I'm going to be a little racist here, kind of fucking sucks when it comes to child exploitation. They kind of love that shit. You know, they very much flaunt lolicon shit and sexual, just a whole variety of sexual stuff. When we ask these otakus or whatever, it's just in Japan. A lot of the Western audience, or more people in the Western audience, consume lolicon culture. Like, it all derives from, like, these YouTubers, like Rev Says Desu, the Anime Man, all these bigger YouTubers who are on the Western side influencing other Western people. When I was making my video, and I'm not making it about myself, the only people I ever saw who were really actual, like, pedophiles, lolicons, were just Westerners. So his study on Japan isn't going to work because it's already such a normalized kind of taboo there. You know?
Correct. And on top of that, when you look into this guy's Wikipedia, you see the kind of stuff that he's done, right? You start to see that... So let me just read this paragraph. Saito is notable for his study of hikikomori, a term that he coined. He is internationally recognized as Japan's leading hikikomori expert. He is also known for presenting the theory of multiple orientations to explain otaku sexuality in Beautiful Fighting Girl. Since the 2010s, he's been involved in introducing an open dialogue in Japan. Keywords, in Japan, as Spindling was saying. But on top of that, this is a guy who's been hanging out with freak incels. Okay? And he's attempting to describe their behavior within the regional context of the behavior itself. What that means is when you have something that is normalized, for example, let me give an extreme example here. And it's going to be intentionally extreme, but you're going to understand what I mean. There is an island, I can't remember which one it is. It might be Haiti, it might be some random island in the Philippines, can't remember which one, okay? So don't quote me on it. But there's an island where it is completely normalized to eat the brains of your ancestors when they die. When they die, it's normalized to eat the brains of this ancestor. Now, the thing about it is, what we know as people who understand medicine and stuff like that is eating the brains because the prions and other, like, you know, chemicals, other like aspects of the brain can create sort of a proto-mad cow disease that results in the degeneracy of the brain, right? So it's actually a very bad thing to do. So just because this culture is normalized in one place and has potentially a normal explanation to why they do it, does not mean that it's something that should be normalized or is normalized across the entire globe. So when you have a regional study like this, you have to remember the regional practices and understanding of things as a contextual lead for something like this, right? So just because this is commonplace in Japan does not mean that it should be anywhere else, does not mean that it's okay, does not mean that it's going to carry through in terms of the behavior that it manifests in other locations, et cetera, right? I sent a screenshot of the DSM-5 listing of consuming sexual depictions of minors as a supporting sign of pedophilia. Right, so I mean, as you know, all of us have said, as we're going along in this journey, we all know that science actually very much helps our own position of this being a terrible thing. So as you can see here, we have...
I also wanted to add, if that's all right, sorry to cut you off, because I'm just thinking about it now. This guy said that this was a contrasting opinion to why they were pedophiles, and I was looking it up while you were saying it. What he's saying isn't really derived in any form of sense when he says these people have a normal sex life with their partners. Well, the first thing I would say is pedophiles can also fuck people of age. That it's not inherently...
Epstein had Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, it's not inherently... A lot of the things for predators, I'll say, not just pedophiles, it's not just the fact that they're kids, it's the power they can get from it. It's very easy to manipulate children. It's very easy to manipulate people who are mentally ill. It's very easy to manipulate people who are socially outcasted into doing things that you want.
Broadly and statistically speaking, there are two types of pedophiles. There are ones that are attracted to children, and there are ones that do it as a power fantasy. Yeah. So on top of that, we have the DSM-5 associated features supporting diagnosis when it comes to pedophilia. Let's read this together. The extensive use of pornography depicting prepubescent children is a useful diagnostic indicator of pedophilic disorder. Now notice the fact that this doesn't say the extensive use of pornography, of real life pornography, of actual children pornography, of non-fictional pornography. It doesn't specify. The reason that it doesn't specify, and I want to strangle people who don't understand this distinction. I want to just say, okay, but I'm not going to because I'm not on Kick. So you have to get caged Himpleton here, okay, because I'm not able to dual stream yet. You have to get polite Himpleton. And polite Himpleton says, the reason that there isn't any distinction between fictional and non-fictional porn is because they both depict children. It shouldn't matter if the child is non-fictional. It depicts a fucking child. Again, a priori argument. You're depicting a fucking child. I don't care if it's a real child or not. You're depicting a child.
I always wanted to ask an actual lolicon on this. I once interviewed one on the live stream. What they would think about Shadman's art that he made of the
Daphne
actor
Keane.
In Logan. Daphne Keane.
Yep.
The actor of Logan, who was a very little girl, very, insanely young, where I think, I'm not going to go too into it, it was scat, piss, shit.
Not to mention Keemstar's daughter.
And that one was not in. I don't think it was porn, but it was an explicit drawing.
It was her licking a microphone, which is heavily implied to be a cock.
Yes. I've always wanted to ask them that, because if it only matters if a real child to them is hurt, like the moral grandstand they do, if it only matters if a real child is hurt, well, what if Keemstar or Daphne Keene's parents saw that? I mean, Daphne Keene's entire fucking, manager saw that, because Shadman got in real life trouble.
Right.
So, yeah, it did actually affect the child. Just as I would assume a lot of people who have gone through, sexual abuse would find it fucking disgusting that someone jerks off to little drawings of little girls.
But we have to assume... What we have to assume here is that they're going to use the argument, because we have to use their strongest argument.
Of course.
Right. So we have to assume that they say that that's not okay because it depicts a real child. And irregardless of that assumption that you know, they don't think anything depicting a real child is okay, it doesn't matter because of the previously mentioned arguments that we said.
All right.
And again, the a priori knowledge of it depicts a child. It does not matter.
The only reason I think why you have to ask these when you're debating someone who stands on these points, even if
it's good to establish a baseline. It's good to establish a baseline, of course.
When it's this inherent knowledge that this thing's bad, but for some reason you're not. The Wendigoon video where these people truly believed they're Jesus, and you were trying to get them not to believe so. Because they were schizophrenic. It was like that is a baseline level knowledge. Like that thing is a chair, and you cannot prove to me it's different. These people think this is okay, and you cannot prove to me it's different. I think this is all derived in a basis where they grew up with a mentality that either it stems from whatever they go through. They have the baseline knowledge or fact in their head that because it's a drawing, it can't hurt anyone, and that's okay. They're trying to minimize what they're doing by saying it's okay because I'm not actually fucking a child. But what they're doing is infatuating themselves, reforming that opinion, shielding up that opinion to make it feel like, as it gets, like any addiction to anything or any continued act in such things, it gets worse. You want worse and worse, right? You want a more
So, two
taboo.
things. First of all, vote in the chat if my normalization argument is convincing to you. But second of all, I mean, you're right. I mean, a lot of this is dependent on you debating a person, right? The thing is, shameless mention, because you guys love it when I do this, even though I hate it. I was actually a philosophy major. And when you're trying to convince somebody philosophically, there's a rule, right? And it's that if you can find a single case in which something isn't okay, there's an argument as to why it's not okay, right? And that's what you can use to like put holes into rules that people demonstrate. So that's why when I'm making arguments like this about like lolicons and stuff like that, what you want to do is you want to give the strongest possible argument towards why lolicon's okay, so that when you dismantle it, you're dismantling the strongest possible lolicon argument rather than dismantling a weak one, because it just shows that no matter how strong your argument is, how well you understand things, etc., and what excuses you're giving, no matter how hard they are to respond to, you can respond to them, and that it still is wrong, right? So anyways, let's keep on going with this. All right.
Who is this person, by the way?
Sam Candles, who makes videos about Sonic, and is by, I don't know if I'm making too broad of an assumption here, but if you look at their videos here, I think you'll agree with me that most of these videos seem to be for children. For children, we've got
it's centered.
So I'm sure.
I mean, yeah, she's doing whatever they are doing.
Am I sharing screen?
Scratch videos.
Scratch videos, Kirby videos, Sonic, Metroid, Sonic More, Kirby,
Nintendo
F-Zero, Vampire Survivors, Mario Kart, YTPs.
YTPs with Scott Lawaz, that's kind of based.
And then you go from YTPs and Nintendo and Sega content to why Lolicon is epic and cool. ASMR cringe trans girl tells you everything will be okay. We're gonna have to watch that after.
Okay, brother.
We'll have to watch that after.
That's great. This person seems to flip-flop from what they want to do with their channel, I feel, because they were doing YTPs and they're doing this kind of shit, and now they're doing like essays on why it's okay to want to jack it to.
Well, the reason they did this video is because they started getting a lot of flack because somebody asked them in their Discord server, which we cannot find the link to now. I'm sure it would have been a gold mine, and I would like to see if it was age gated whatsoever. But the core argument that somebody said in the Discord was, so you're saying it's okay to jack off to kids? Sam Candles responds and says, as long as they're not real, as long as it's fictional.
Oh, God.
So that's how all of this happened.
Do we know if that server was 18+?
We don't. That's what I'm saying. I wish that we had a link to the server so we could see if it was 18+ or not. But
from reality and the desires of those who are interested in these sorts of works. You don't have to be interested in the elements of reality that form the art in order to have an interest in the art itself. The same way most.
Let me listen to that one more time. You don't have to be interested in the
reality that
elements of
form the
reality
art in order to have
art.
an interest in the art itself.
You can be a lolicon. You can enjoy a child getting fucked, and it doesn't have to be about the child getting fucked. It can be about the line work, the expert line work that the artist does.
How good it was drawn. I mean, no.
My response to that is shut the fuck up.
I don't think that's true.
Well, you have 1 billion examples of art that is really good and is really well made, that is, depicting perfectly fine things. And on top of that, like, you can admire something from an artistic aspect of, like, the line drawing here is very good, while still saying that what is depicted is absolutely deplorable and disgusting. These are not the same things. And if you would like the line work within a lolicon drawing, that doesn't make you a fucking lolicon. But if you're still saying that this art is good because the art is good and ignoring what's being depicted within the art, you're just fucking retarded, right?
The same way most furries do not have an actual sexual attraction to real animals. And in both cases, neither of these things can turn someone into a pedophile or a zoophile.
Neither of these things can turn someone into a pedophile or a zoophile. Once again, I bring up the multiple studies that have been done in terms of, people's preferences towards porn and the way that they treat women as a result of their preference towards porn or the porn that they've been indoctrinated into. If you look at, hardcore pornography, which is the vast majority of light net pornography that most people watch, they don't watch the softcore stuff. The vast majority of people watch hardcore stuff. And you look at the way that influences the way that men treat women. This is already an argument that is fucked on its face. Just from pure sociology, we don't actually need examples of this in practice. We don't, because from a purely sociological perspective, it's already been shown to us that even just something like hardcore versus softcore pornography can affect the way that the average man treats the average woman. From that alone, we can already gather that there is, it is not, it's not irresponsible and it's not irrational to thus have the conclusion that stuff like lolicon, stuff like zoophilia, stuff like that, and depicting that in a pornographic setting can influence and normalize this type of behavior to people where it influences their real life interactions. It just makes sense on its face. It's already been proven in popular psychology, much less something that's more fringe. The fact of the matter is, lolicons and pedophiles, they get off on the fact that there aren't as many documented studies when it comes to this kind of stuff. The reality around that is pedophiles and lolicons are on the fringes of society. They're on the fringes. And as a result of that, there is a much smaller population size to get this verdict from. But to believe this argument, you have to inherently believe that the average sexual behavior and psychological behavior of the average male defies the average logic of any of these fringe people. The fact of the matter is, we have the same brain makeup. Not to the T, obviously, but in a generalistic aspect, we do. Right? So to say that this pattern of behavior that applies to the average man, which we have shown in multiple studies, does not apply to the fringe is just retarded. It's just retarded. It doesn't make any sense. And people try to say, well, we don't have any studies that show this. First of all, we already do. But on top of that, we also have this supplemental evidence of more normal people and how it affects their brains. And from there, we're able to come up with a pretty solid definition and understanding of why these things are bad and why they can be harmful, right? We don't need these studies, but we have them, but we don't need these studies, right?
Paraphilias are something which is deep-seated into someone's brain, long before they find media depicting similar things in fiction. And yet, similarly to furries, it would be remiss of me to claim there's never any overlap. Fringe...
I sound like the Zip Guys channel. That's because I am the Zip Guys channel. I made the Zip Guys channel.
I think that was the joke that they would make.
Maybe it was. Hi, I'm Zipgeist.
Or otherwise. Obviously, someone who's already a pedophile would be interested in fictional works that align, in one way or another, with their interests. And so it begs the
Correct!
question, is this inherently wrong?
Yes!
To answer this, I think we need to talk about what pedophilia actually is.
We're doing one of these.
Let me be very clear before I elaborate.
Be clear!
Having
Let's hear
sex with a child or using a child to create material of a sexual nature is fucking disgusting.
I mean, we haven't even mentioned the Nick Andros argument, which is a very compelling one, which is, where do they get the source material for their drawings of naked children? A lot of times they get it from children. That's where they get it. They get it from children. Why is this wrong? If you even have to ask yourself that fact, you already desperately need help, okay? You already desperately need help. If you're asking why that's wrong. If you even have to ask that, you need help. Seek therapy, seek help, right? It was a question I asked. I had the Zip Guys channel recommended to me, and the narrator sounded like you. Now I know that it is you. Yeah, that's my second channel where I post.
What? Another calming derailed to help with blood pressure.
Thank you, Jathus. God knows I need it.
Abhorrent and has no place in any sort of civilized world. We can all agree upon this. I also don't think anyone should be under any obligation to be comfortable being around a self-professed pedophile, and obviously I especially don't think they should be welcome in spaces that have kids.
That's cool. What if I told you that anyone who says that they enjoy lolicon content and get off to it is a pedophile? If you jack off to depictions of kids, I don't care if they're fictional children, you are a pedophile. And all of the rules that you just applied to a offending pedophile, as people like you would say, should apply to those people as well. Stay the fuck away from me. Stay the fuck away from kids. Stay the fuck away from society. Either get help or hermit yourself, motherfucker. There's no room for you here.
In the language of the cultural zeitgeist.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know what a Zipgeist is, since somebody just said they subscribe to it, Zipgeist is my second channel where I talk about stuff that kind of just interests me more. I've always wanted to do documentary content. That's kind of where the documentary content would go. Zipgeist, we do kind of more video essay sort of things rather than commentary content on Zipgeist. And yeah, it's going to be part of the HCU, as they say, the Hempleton Cinematic Universe. We've got Zipgeist, and we've got one more channel coming, at the very least, at least one more channel that's going to be more media review kind of centered. Okay, so that's that.
Pedophile has been turned into something inherently sinister in nature. Of course, it does make...
Did Channel 5 ever get back to me? No. You can't expect them to have,
sense on... In the language of the cultural zeitgeist, the word pedophile has been turned into something inherently sinister in nature. Of course, it does make sense on a simple emotional level. If someone has any sort of sexual interest in kids, they're a horrible monster, is the average thought process.
Well,
what's really important...
It's a normal thought process, you dumb bitch.
Especially if you wish to have empathy for people that are different, is to separate the thought from the action. The fundamental problem...
Let me put that point that she just made into action here. The problem isn't saying, I want to fuck kids. The problem is fucking the kids. It's totally fine to say, I want to fuck kids. The problem becomes when you fuck the kid. One of the false equivalencies that people like this try to do is they try to compare basic invasive thoughts to things like this. So let me demonstrate how that is completely incorrect, right? For all of you guys, this is a lesson on how you combat these lolicons if you ever decide to have an argument with someone like this, okay? So what they're doing here is they're conflating the concept of invasive thoughts and how invasive thoughts aren't in themselves wrong to persistent, regular, normalized thinking of this being okay. So let's take an instance of invasive thoughts, right? We're going to start at a less extreme extent, and we're going to gradually get to a more extreme extent, so I can help you guys understand how this is different. So at the bottom of the ladder, we're going to start with l'appel de la vie. Okay, l'appel de la vie is the call of the void. Okay, it's a French term, and what it means is it's the feeling that you get when you're at the top of a very high building or at the top of a very high surface, like a cliff or something like that, and you think to yourself, what if I just jumped off of this? Alternatively, it can be applied to the thought of, what if I just push this guy off of this? Like when you're on the top of a building or a cliff. This is a completely natural thought. It's your brain kind of exercising its imagination, and you kind of think of this horrible thing, but you just kind of think of like how it would go and what it would be like. What you don't do, what people very commonly do when they have this thought is they say, why the fuck did I think that? Why the fuck did I think that? That was weird. That was weird. It was a weird thought. That's an invasive thought, right? Higher level. Somebody has an extreme level of OCD where they're constantly thinking about killing their wife, okay? They're thinking about it pretty persistently. They think about it at least once a day. It's not when the wife is around, but they do think about it at least once a day, right? They're thinking about killing their wife, okay? They have these persistent, invasive thoughts about killing their wife, right? Commonly, stuff like exposure therapy is used in these instances. What they'll do is they will role play with the patient, and they will help that patient realize that they don't actually want to kill their wife. They don't want to kill their wife, right? They realize this is just an invasive, extreme thought that they're having, and they don't want to kill their wife. They're just stuck on a thought loop. Right? At the most extreme that we can bring this, and Lago already said it, is POCD. So POCD is pedophile OCD. And this is the persistent, or not necessarily persistent, but the invasive thoughts that take over you, that you are a pedophile, that you like kids, even if you don't, right? Pedophiles commonly use POCD as an excuse for their own behaviors, when in reality, POCD is this persistent guilt and this persistent, you hate yourself if you have POCD. POCD doesn't involve the normalization or acceptance of these thoughts. POCD, on the other hand, it turns you against yourself, and you're consistently thinking to yourself, I'm a pedophile, I'm an evil, terrible person, because I'm constantly thinking about, like, what if I touched a kid? That's not a glorification. That's not a normalization. You're thinking to yourself, this is a terrible thing. You hate yourself, right? So again, that's an example of invasive thinking, and a way that you can be therapized, or whatever the word is, out of it, right? On the other hand, trying to equivalent stuff like this thinking about wanting to fuck kids, trying to make that equivalent to these invasive thoughts is ridiculous, because it is normalized, it is acceptable, and it is okay for you. You are jacking off to fictional depictions of children, and you are perfectly fine with this. You are normalizing it, and you think it's okay. You don't see this in any of the other examples of invasive thinking. But in this case, it is completely normalized, and it is completely acceptable for you. So, do you understand how those two things are completely different, but they try to make a false equivalency between them? So that's where you can catch these people on that.
Makes pornographic material produced of actual children disgusting.
What if that person has thoughts of other people wanting to hurt them? I mean, that's just another invasive thought, and that again is somebody that's somebody who desperately needs therapy. I don't know if that's OCD actually. If they have compulsive thoughts of someone wanting to hurt them, that could be schizophrenia. That could be a schizoaffective disorder. Yeah. There's many different things that could be. Neither of us are therapists, and we're not going to try to say that. We're not going to try to blindly say that you're something.
That's true.
But those are symptoms of schizoaffective disorders, and somebody who is experiencing those thoughts should see a therapist. I mean, it's that simple, right? But let's
yes, sir.
Let's see what this is.
The fundamental problem that makes pornographic material produced of actual children disgusting, ontologically evil, and immoral is not actually
cool. So, oh my God!
Of a sexualized
Stop!
child.
Hey, dude, what the fuck?
Why is this allowed on YouTube? I swear to God, if I get clapped for this, if I get clapped for the video that they were allowed to upload with no age gating, I'm going to be fucking pissed off. So this person is saying it's not the sexualized child itself, but the act that resulted in its creation. It's fine to sexualize a child. They just can't be a real child, guys. Do you understand how fucking retarded that logic is with all of the things that we've said in the past fucking 10 minutes? The past hour that we've been reviewing this video?
Abuse of a child itself. A pedophile's thoughts are not the heinous act in of themselves. It's the actual harm done to children that's the problem. As I said, hurting a child is disgusting, and I have no respect for anyone that does that. But the thought of being attracted to the nature of a child...
You are normalizing the act of hurting children when you are okay with this stuff. How is that not clear to you? Stop it with the video games cause violence bullshit. That's two different parts of the brain, and it doesn't apply. We are talking very specifically about dopamine centers in the brain, specifically attributed to sexuality. So stop moving the goalpost, stop putting up straw mans, and accept the fucking reality that what you're doing is inherently a terrible thing.
Is not a crime in of itself, and treating it like that is not only wrong, but, again, borderline fascist. A proper society of people...
Guys, it's fascist. Guys, if you say that jacking off to fictionalized kids is bad, you're a Nazi. You're a fascist. You're no better than Mussolini.
Empathy cannot, and let me repeat myself, cannot ever criminalize thought. The truth is that not every single person of pedophilic thoughts is or ever will be a child abuser. Many of these people don't...
No one's saying that. If anyone's making that argument, you're fucking retarded. Don't ever make this argument. Don't ever make the argument that they just said. They love to find stupid people who don't know what they're talking about and just say that somebody who hasn't actually touched a child is a child molester. Don't use those arguments, guys, because then they get an easy W. None of us are trying to say that you're an active pedophile who kills and molests children. Okay? No one's trying to say that. What we are saying is that you are normalizing this behavior, because that's a fact. You can't get around that one. Let me put it this way. You say, the only way that you become a child molester is to touch children. You don't have to be a child molester like Lolly, blah, blah, blah. What I say is you don't have to be a pedophile to normalize the behavior of jacking off to children. If you're going to use that, I think you kind of do have to be a pedophile, but at the very least, you don't have to normalize the activity of molesting children. You don't have to be a child molester verbatim to normalize that activity, to normalize that behavior, right?
Ever want to hurt a child. They deal with this through therapy, trying to find ways to ignore and separate themselves from these thoughts. A little coffee avatar
pisses me off so bad.
Josh, I don't want to give you this person's channel name. Do not go and brigade this channel. I'm completely against that behavior, okay? And the fact of the matter is, since you are somebody who watches me, if you go into their channel and brigade them, and it's traced back to me, it makes me look bad. That's how this stuff works. And I've seen you do it before. You don't do it on ults, okay? So, I'm not going to give you the fucking channel name. I'm not going to make it easier for you to brigade this channel, right? It's just not... It's not good. It's not good, okay?
Or they find healthy ways to cope with them. But with all we've discussed now, with the concept of abuse being the problem and not the thought itself, aren't things like lolicon a perfectly fine coping strategy?
No, for all of the 17 reasons that I've given so far as to why it's not. I'm not going to go over them again.
The exchange that leads to someone viewing a lolly work is inherently consensual between two adults. An adult...
You like that? You a big fan of that one? You like that one, Spindling?
What?
It's inherently consensual between two adults, showing someone lolly.
I would fucking kill you if you told me that. If you showed me that and you said, it's alright, I would gut you. I would rip your fucking spleen out.
Hey, Zeker, let's not scare away my viewers, buddy. I don't know why you like to do this with the one guy who, gives me the most money. But, you gotta stop, man. Please, for the love of God.
Creates art, and another adult buys or otherwise acquires that art. And possibly...
Next thing I know, Zeker's gonna start trying to scare Jathis away. What are you fucking doing, man? You're playing against me here. You're playing against me.
Jathis is my goat.
Yeah, Jathis is awesome. ZV. Gives me lots of money, and that's great. Okay.
ZV give the money.
Yeah, so don't scare them away. Stop.
Creates art and another adult buys or otherwise acquires.
He's not a fucking child.
No.
Okay, so fucking stop. You're gonna make me crash out. Neither is ZV, retard. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna start fucking getting in. Like, dude, just stop. Just fucking stop doing it, please, for the love of God. Thank you.
And possibly that same adult uses it to relieve their desires through. You get the idea. None of that involves a child.
Let's hear that one more time.
A lolly work is inherently consensual between two adults. An adult creates art and another adult buys or otherwise acquires that art. And possibly that same adult uses it to relieve their desires through. You get the idea. So no, I get the idea. They're jacking off to depictions of kids. So the question becomes, what are they jacking off to? What is being depicted that they're jacking off to? That's the obvious fucking question. You don't see the harm in it? You're retarded. None of that involves a child.
You sound like Eminem when you said that.
It fulfills the deep-seated need of that person dealing with pedophilic thoughts without a child being involved at any point.
You're retarded!
Unlike if they had used real child sexual abuse materials for the same purpose. The biggest...
Oh, it's okay, guys. They only use fake child sexual abuse material, not real one.
Lolly zine in Japan, Comic LO, is working with this exact idea. It is intentionally marketed at people who have these thoughts, yes, but a big message which is littered about every issue is to never act on them in reality, and to seek therapies if you feel like the urges are impacting your ability to function in the real world. Pornography, rape, and sex crimes in Japan, an analysis of the availability of pornographic material and crime statistics conducted in 1999 by...
What the fuck are you talking about?
Never act on them in reality. And to seek therapies if you feel like the urges are impacting your ability to function in the real world. Pornography, rape, and sex crimes in Japan, an analysis of the availability of pornographic material and crime statistics conducted in 1999 by Milton Diamond and Ayako Uchiyama, finds that when the amount of this material that was readily accessible...
The concern that countries allowing pornography would show increased sex crime rates due to modeling, or that adolescents in particular would be negatively vulnerable and receptive to such models, or that society would be otherwise adversely affected, has not been vindicated. It is certainly clear from our data and analysis that a massive increase in available pornography in Japan has been correlated with a dramatic decrease in sexual crimes. Okay, so that was a study that came out in 1999. I think it would have been a little bit too early to tell, but at the same time, I again think that that's only applicable to Japan, where that was already previously normalized. So again, like, this is not the gotcha that they think it is.
Increased, the rate of sex crimes actually decreased. And it's reasonable to make the connection that the same can apply for more explicitly fringe material like lolicon. To conclude this thought, when you look into the contents of something like Comic LO, as well as studies into similar topics, it's clear there is direct evidence of lolicon working not to create or encourage child abuse, but to actively prevent it. No matter how much research is done, no matter how many examples there are of the works themselves working to prevent child abuse, no matter how non-existent the evidence of it ever directly leading to real harm is, the words I hear when trying to defend them stay exactly the same. It's just wrong.
Because it is. Because you're not talking to educated people who actually know how to argue their position, and it's so obviously wrong that that's what people default to, you fucking retard.
It's just gross. Real
because it is. Because they will be.
Hate
yes,
things of that
correct.
To me a lot. A lot of this is also
deservedly so, you stupid bitch.
Also said under the guise of encouraging others to fix themselves. A common refrain is simply get help. It's used to imply concern and empathy, while ultimately shaming an individual for their beliefs, and forcing this ableist perception of unwell onto them, pushing them away without offering a real solution to the supposed problem. And this very mindset, despite often being spread by people who label themselves as queer-friendly or woke, even other trans people just like me, seem...
Oh my god, Jathis? Jathis is the word I was trying to say there. If you want an example of us debating somebody who's, supporting lolicon arguments and kind of the way that goes, and kind of watching me in real time trying my best to, hold future nightmares back. This is the first real debate that I think that Future Nightmares was involved in. And it's a fun watch if you haven't seen it. Right here. This video.
I have something that looks the same. And then I also know that if I poke myself, red stuff comes out. Can I do both? And yeah, no, never.
I just put it in the side
song
chat.
Itself is
the
talking
chat
about sexual things in nature. It is not a ridiculous thing to think that that sort of behavior and the implicit encouragement of said behavior is like a soft advocation.
It's just if it's just the mother breastfeeding, I don't think it's an issue for kids to do that because, like, for example.
So that was a very interesting discussion that we had about this that loops pretty well into all of the other stuff.
Seems shockingly familiar, especially if you keep up with some recent events. In 2025, religious and queerphobic activists like Collective Shout.
Oh my god, they're making it about being anti-LGBT. Come on.
What?
Himpleton is an underage viewer. I just wanted to thank you for showing this creator, Sam Castle, channel so we can show them Zem love.
I welcome anybody to clip that, because if anybody believes that just on its face and that it's not a joke and tries to say that like I'm showing child viewers that kind of stuff, then I'd love to make fun of them. So feel free to clip that. Thank you for the 10.
In 2025, religious and queerphobic activists like Collective Shout begged and pressured payment processors to stop letting NSFW artists, often queer ones, take payments. And it worked.
What does that have to do with anything?
Systematically, almost overnight, hundreds of works were removed, delisted, or at least started withholding payment from the authors that made them, on platforms like itch.io and Steam.
That has nothing to do with what the fuck you're talking about. Anybody who's fighting on the side of NSFW artists being able to get paid has nothing to do with drawing fucking kids. Okay, buddy? Thank you for being a member for 4 months, AMZ Scruffles. Really appreciate it. Himpleton's awesome. I'll take it, man. Thank you.
The mindset behind this sort of activism is almost horrifically similar to the mindset that wants to suppress lolicon. Both are operating.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? The mindset that wants to suppress queer voices is startlingly similar to the mindset that wants to suppress lolicon. Really?
Under the guise of protecting vulnerable people, and both only end up hurting. Trans journalist and adult voiceover artist Anna Valens wrote about this issue in 2 articles for Vice. Days later, they were removed by leadership, almost immediately silencing her voice.
No, let's see what this says and if it has anything to do with lolicon. This group takes responsibility for Steam's payment processor censorship policies. They just implied that pervert nerds cause society's problems. Nothing to do with lolicon. All about NSFW. Doesn't support your argument. Shut the fuck up. Can't say the rest because we're not on Kick.
Days later, they were removed by leadership, almost immediately silencing her voice. Valens resigned from writing for Vice soon after. Even as some games and other sorts of art are relisted, even as the story falls to the wayside, artists whose livelihood depends on NSFW work are being disadvantaged and discriminated against to this very day. It hasn't stopped happening, and if we stop speaking up about it, it will never stop.
Shut the fuck up.
Despite being billed as a...
I hate it when these people, depict themselves as like these brave advocates. No, you're a fucking really pedophile degenerate. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You're not special. You're not fucking Rosa Parks. You're not Martin Luther King Jr. You're a fucking retard. You're not any of the people who died in the Stonewall riots. You're not fucking Rodney King. You're not even George Floyd, motherfucker. You're a pedophile. Go fuck yourself and get what's coming to you. You're not a fucking brave person. You're a disgusting freak. And you deserve to be put down like a goddamn dog in Minecraft.
You're not even a fucking George Floyd.
God damn.
Feminist group has ties to Christian organizations and a conservative think tank. The founder of the group has described herself as a pro-life feminist. In 2015, she targeted Tyler...
What is this about? What the fuck is this about?
It will never stop. Collective Shout, despite being billed as a feminist group, has ties to Christian organizations and a conservative think tank. The founder of the group has described herself as a pro-life feminist. In 2015, she targeted Tyler, the Creator, and tried to get his visa into Australia revoked simply because of his music. It's all fascism. It's always been
What the fuck does a song have to do with wanting to jack off to children? Can you please explain that to me? Oh wait, you can't. That's right, because it's all fascism, guys. Go fuck yourself.
And that's not
You're
good.
You're just a disgusting piece of shit, and you have no redeeming qualities.
fascism. And to finally conclude, that's why I'll never give up. I will always defend the right for art to exist.
I will always defend
fictional minors being sexualized, depictions of rape, extreme.
I will always defend jacking off the minors. Hamilton, don't be mad. ZZim can't help it. Thank you for being a member for 3 months. I can't find myself I can't find myself to fucking care. First of all, and second of all, so
What?
First was that guy getting mad at the domino worker. Now it's this idiot that doesn't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, we're just getting idiots the whole time, right? But here's something that's important to note. Now, what's interesting about this is what you'll notice on this YouTube video. We've watched the whole thing, or almost the whole thing at this point. Have you noticed the fact that they've never said that they are a lolicon? They're talking about defending it from a free speech aspect, from a censorship aspect, from a very political aspect, right? Now, the problem is, because of the Reddit post that we read before this video, which is a response to the backlash that they got, we know that they are a lolicon. We know that they are jacking off to children. To fiction, let me just say, fictional depictions of children, right? So, within that, since we know this to be a fact already, we also know that this is highly motivated by the fact that this is what they do. They inherently have a bias towards their activities of jacking off to children, fictional depictions of children, being normal. They have an inherent bias to prove this correct, because they want to be seen as normal. So that immediately just fucking destroys your argument, because you're not talking about this from an objective perspective. You're not. You're extremely biased. Of course you're going to jump through any hole that you can to justify it and say it's not pedophilia.
Violence, even if it's a game about a mass shooter, even if it includes incestuous relationships in a sexual context. If another human...
By the way, this person also has an incest fetish.
Being was not harmed in its creation.
This person verbatim said on Blue Sky that sister and girlfriend are synonyms.
What?
What a truth knew.
Oh.
Thank you for the 2.
At a certain point, bro,
at a certain point, it should be logical to... Never mind. Not a YouTube-friendly thing. Not a YouTube-friendly
Hey, let's say there was a monster after me. I would fucking rip its eyes out.
Then it deserves to exist in the world
alongside everything else.
What would you do to that monster, Harrison? To me, anything less than this...
I would put it down like a fucking dog.
Yeah, 2 shots back of the head.
I would not give it any ceremony. I wouldn't give it any special torture. I would take it out back, and I would shoot it in the head. And I wouldn't care if it lived after that first gunshot, because I would know that they would eventually die.
I would want to see that monster crawl.
But that's what I would do to a silly monster that doesn't exist in real life.
That's what I'd do to a silly demon, like an evil devil.
It is fascist, queerphobic, and against the very human rights that all LGBTQ, all marginalized...
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. So
do they think LGBTQ and like lolicons are like, we're two in the same, brothers?
Do you not know what the L in LGBTQ stands for?
Ligma?
Lolicon.
People should be fighting for. Thank you, and good night.
Let's get a little Undertale music. Of course I like Undertale.
So then, this is also the response in shorts form. Let's see that.
Hey, I guess I'll actually address it. On the 17th, I uploaded a video titled Lolicon Censorship and Ethics in Art, where I go over my personal opinion that we shouldn't censor art which engages in certain taboos, including, yes, sexualized depictions of fictional children. I stress really hard in that video over and over what the difference is between this sort of content and actual child sexual abuse material.
Okay, so far we're hearing a lot of looping, and I'm not even going to respond to it because it's looping.
But I guess it isn't enough. I've received so many death threats, accusations of being a predator, kink shaming for things I did not say in the video, and a million comments in the vein of, you're setting us back 200 years.
You are, because you are using your own justification of pedophilic activities and looping them in with the LGBTQ, which inherently allows people who are anti-LGBTQ to loop you in with them and assume that they're okay with your behavior when they're not. That's how you're setting people back.
All I wanted to do was defend artistic expression. Yes, that artistic expression includes things that are a bit taboo, but it's only ever been about art. I never want to see anyone get hurt. I just want to defend everyone's ability to express themselves. And yeah.
You're a lolicon. You're lying. You're lying. You're a self-admitted lolicon. You're a self-admitted incest enthusiast. You're lying when you say that you're just trying to defend everybody's ability to express themselves. You're trying to normalize your behavior of jacking off the depictions of children. That's what's happening. You're a disgusting, perverted freak. That's what's happening. And you're pawning it off onto actual people who are normal. LGBTQ people who are just trying to enjoy their lives, who are not hurting anyone. You're pawning it off to them. You should feel ashamed of yourself. You are a terrible person. That's what they mean by setting us back 200 years. That's why you're getting death threats. Most people wouldn't even rape someone like you. Okay? Now we might have to go members only. Oh my God. I can't hold myself back sometimes, man. I mean, it's just like, this is why, guys, this is why I need a new computer. And this is why your donations are very much appreciated. And this is also why, once I get a new computer, I'm going to be dual streaming on Kick. So I don't have to worry about what I'm saying.
Poor Ace.
Thank you so much for the raid, Ace Space. Very interesting time to raid in, I guess. And thank you for the 2.
We're talking about
Poor Ace.
What? The Deep is losing it tonight, lol.
Yes, the Deep is losing it. Here, no, actually, I'm going to wait till ZV gets me to take off my glasses instead of taking them off.
That includes myself, but also many other people just like me. But yeah, I can see when I am not wanted. If I'm making all of you—
Yeah, you're not. Go fuck yourself. Do a self-imposed ostracization where you fucking leave the planet. Go live on the moon. I don't give a shit. No one ever needs to hear from you again.
You unhappy being here? I get it. With all of that in mind, in the coming weeks, I will be leaving Instagram and TikTok for good. None of you—
Good! How about Blue Sky? Please leave Blue Sky as well. Please? Please leave everything. Optional.
Pretty please, madam.
Leave the world. Leave the earth. Leave this life. All optional, of course. Okay. And, only in a Minecraft context, of course.
Forms seem to want me around, so I'll stop being around. I got the message.
Great!
People who actually wants to continue seeing things from me, I'll still be on YouTube. YouTube is what I've always been truly passionate about anyways, and it's a lot easier to moderate comments from people trying to threat.
That's awesome. I'm so glad that you're on YouTube. Wait, what kind of content do you make again? Oh, wait, it's content for children. That's right. It's literally just video game content like Sonic and Kirby for children. That's right. I'm so glad that you're educating us about why Lolicon's okay. That's right.
Threaten me over there. If you're still with me after all of this, go subscribe. I could really use the support. I will also be on my Blue Sky account. This account was actually supposed to be disconnected from my other stuff, but because my serial harassers have made it into public information, I guess everyone—
All right, your serial harassers, even though it has your fucking YouTube name in the Blue Sky, you dumb fucking cunt, okay? Oh my god, you're an insufferable cunt. Yeah, it's gonna have to be members only. It's fine.
Everyone knows about it now, so whatever. If you're an adult, follow me. If not, then fuck off. This account is not intended to be for kids, even though it's safe for work in of itself. Finally, I love you.
I'm surprised.
I love all of you.
I love you? Kill yourself. Literally fucking hang yourself. Hang yourself from the fucking rafters. Are you fucking kidding me? You've cultivated an audience of people who like retro games and Nintendo and all this other stuff that indicates a child audience. And then you're going to talk about lolicon, and at the end you're going to say, I love you? Kill yourself. Vacation out of the world, out of your brain. Pull the trigger. Goodbye. Good riddance. Go fuck yourself.
What? Take your glasses off, proud homosexual.
If hell is real, you're in the deepest fucking depths, bitch. Okay? You're gone. Go to fucking hell. Do not collect
They're
go.
gonna have to make a new layer for you.
Do not pass go. Go to hell. Okay? Fucking miserable waste of fucking space. People like you are the reason that Roman candles were invented. And if you know what that means, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not talking about the firework.
I love all the freaks and weirdos that have supported me. I even have love for those that are trying to.
I don't remember.
Look up Roman candles Christian Roman party. Look up Roman party, Roman candle Christians.
Me, because you're all people at the end of the day, and if it isn't obvious, I love people. Please have an amazing day and stay safe, okay? I'll see
Fuck
you.
I hope you have an unsafe day. I hope you die. Thanks. Really appreciate that. So let's look a little bit more into their content. So we're, as we can see here, and thanks for the 5ZV. So let's see a video about Sam candles. You know what's so funny about my Roman candle joke there is I'd like to see you be a Roman candle. We can transform you from Sam candles to a Roman candle. It'll be great. It'll be great. It'll be great fun, right? It'd be a wonderful thing to see your skin sear off.
It'll be a funny meme for all of us.
Yeah, it'd be like a wonderful little thing to see, you know, your skin slowly become like the same consistency as pork rinds. Be nice. Okay. People like this set everyone back, and they are entirely a degradation and negative on the world. Okay. So, you know, if it was me, you get two options. You either get help or you leave in the nicest way possible. That's the way I can say that, right?
Hey, it's 2026, huh? It got here really fast. It still feels
God, I'm so glad to see you in my 2026.
to me like 2025 just started.
Oh my lord, I missed you. I missed
you. Actually,
love.
Before we get into the supplemental content, let's do some derails, because my God, am I getting hyped up. I'm getting a little too hyped up. I'm going to say some things I can't take back if I don't do some derails. Looks like we might only have... Oh, we have 2 derails. Okay, so we've got 2 derails, it looks like. Unless I'm missing something. Nah, yeah, we got 2 derails. Let's do this one first. Guys, we gotta take a deep breath. We gotta calm down.
100 years ago, they wouldn't be alive.
100 years ago, they wouldn't be alive. That's true. Thank you for the 2.
It's a thing I often think about.
Guys, let's listen to our PBS...
Can you watch Sam Candles? Cringe trans girl tells you everything will be okay smiley face. ASMR? F4A. Affirmations. Video.
Hello?
Thanks for the 10. Deep. Okay, everything aside, that is a deep fucking line for like a little kid show. This world moves too fast to think about life and death. Jesus. That was like insanely profound. Okay. Love that.
Watching your favorite show.
This is why, guys, if you ever have kids, have your kids watch PBS. Have your kids watch stuff like this.
PBS is so fucking good.
Stop having your kids watch YouTube. Don't ever let your kid watch YouTube when they're a little kid. Let them watch PBS Kids. They actually learn wonderful, beautiful things, okay? Like, come on. Like, there's no reason. There's no fucking reason, okay? Just none. Let me get the other derail here. All right. One last derail, and then we're going back to hell. Starting with ZV's derail. Dude, we get an old classic cartoon? What's not the freaking love? What's not the freaking love? What's not the love? We need this. We need this when we see some weird lolicon glorifying jacking off to fictional depictions of children. We need it! So slightly disproportionate because he's way too big to be a normal mouse. Look at how fucking big he is compared to Tom. This does not make any sense logistically. He's like, Jerry, he's gotta be like a foot, he's gonna be like 2 feet tall. That's like to Jerry, and just like, what the fuck? Oh my god, you're such a fucking big mouse. This doesn't make any sense. You're the size of my entire fucking torso.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, dude. Back to hell. Here we go.
Hey there.
Okay.
It's nice to see you.
This is a transvestite,
How are
right?
you holding up? I know you've had a long day. It's okay. You can rest now. Just relax and listen to my voice. I'm so proud of you. No matter if you spent all day relaxing or you got a lot of work done, because you're here now. You should feel proud of yourself. I know things can be hard sometimes. Like, God, do I know it. I've gone through so much to get to where I am now, and I'm sure you have too. But I'm still standing. You're still standing.
I've gone through so much to be an enjoyer of fictional children being sexualized.
And really, that's what's important. Sometimes the very worst of times are right before the very best. It's perfectly okay to feel down, but you should know that it really does always get better. You're amazing, and no matter how you feel today, I promise you that your brightest days are just around the corner, even when you can't see them yet. I know all too well how easy it can be to fall into self-doubt.
POV, Sam Candles is like trying to make me like horny or something, or like trying to like make me, you know, like sad or something, and I'm just like looking at her with absolute, just pure, unadulterated, violent hatred. Okay?
Or just imagine all the ways things could go wrong. Believe me, I struggle with it a lot too. But I know for a fact you're capable of accomplishing great things. You're smart, you're funny, and you're talented. Just because you haven't already achieved all your goals now doesn't mean you won't in the future. There's still so much time to finish that project you wanted to do, to reach that point that you need to reach. There's still time to do amazing things. There's still time for you to become the greatest version of yourself. I believe in you. I believe in you because I believe you are good, and I believe you are wonderful. I know there could be a chance not everyone around you will believe in you the same way I do, but who cares what they think? If they won't support you, they don't deserve you. You deserve great things in life, and you will get them, I promise. It all works out eventually, especially for amazing people like you.
I'm gonna kill you.
Everything's going to be okay.
In
I
Minecraft.
guarantee it. It's getting a little late now. I've got stuff to do, and honestly,
The sun's going down, and it's gonna make it difficult for them to find your body.
Remember, you're loved no matter what. If
You
no
are
one else
hated.
will say this, I love you.
I hate
Have a
you.
good rest of your night.
We used to kill people like
that
you.
obviously are
We used to
horrible
kill people like you. We used to kill people like you.
optics for us.
Shut the
I
fuck up,
understand-
Aiden. Nobody fucking cares. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright, so next, we've got this.
What?
I wasn't watching, can you replay the video?
No, it's been an unspoken rule that replaying videos costs at least twice as much. That's always been a thing. It was a thing with Jack's toy. I'm not replaying that. Choose something else. Choose something else.
Still don't test my anger, buddy, but it's 1000x worse is the vid name.
Thank you so much
Oh, Lord.
for the $5. I appreciate it. We'll get to it soon. What was warranted? Is this person transgender? Yes, Morale. What is their argument about Lolly? It's the usual, Morale. It's the usual bullshit.
Hey, it's 2026, huh? It got here really...
Wasn't looking, can you replay it, haha.
Yes, once we get to derails. Yep. Thank you for the 10.
It still feels to me like 2025 just started. Hell, it feels like my channel just started.
I don't care. I hate you, and I think you should die. But, okay, keep on going.
Fuck, it's been nearly 3 years since I've been doing this. And what better time than the new year than to take a look back and...
I mean, listen, you say no, do not. People can counteract a donut or a derail for the equal amount of the derail's cost. So for $10, you can make me not have to watch that.
Figure out what really sammed my candles over the years. And maybe learn some new things in the process. The moment I personally feel I truly became Sam Candles was this video from August of 2023, We Need to Talk. In this video, I debuted my first PNG tuber model drawn in Adobe Illustrator by myself.
Wow!
It was a big moment. It was me truly committing to having a brand on here.
Isn't it crazy that, like, all of this stuff, and yet they just love jacking off the kids?
Derail our belches and shits myself.
Thanks for the 5.
It's also when I introduced the checkerboard theming for the background that I still use today. Directly
Wow!
after this, I would make my video about Vampire Survivors. My first proper game review video I ever made. I was really...
There's an actual game called Beat Up Sam Candles.
Where is it, on Steam?
I'll forward. Sideshow.
proud of this one. I even learned how to use After Effects so I could explode into little shards at the end. Over the course of 2023, I would go through multiple redesigns. At one point, I added an outline. Then I redrew everything to make it more expressive. Then I redrew everything to make it more expressive. Then I redrew everything to make it more expressive. Yeah, I don't really know what I was on in 2023. Eventually, I settled on this pixelated Sam Candles, which I used for a decent amount of proper videos.
Really?
But, just like all the other designs, I eventually moved on to this.
Whoa!
You're probably familiar with this Sam. It's me right now.
Yeah, it's you, the lolicon.
These days. Turning 3D like this mainly came about as a way to make it less of a hassle to do more varied poses and stuff. But I also just wanted to be more girly. Sunglasses Sam registered as male to a lot of people, which is something I kind of begrudged at the time. I ended up identifying very closely with this particular Sam Candles. She was me, and I was her. This era of my channel was supposed to be huge for me. After 2 pretty decent review videos in 24, I had a lot of ambitious plans for 2025.
Wow.
And of course, I did one proper video. Yeah.
Right.
The thing is, 2025 was just not a great year for me. I wanted to do so much on here.
You're surprised they aren't a lolly? They are a lolly.
Sending you a lucky $10 so you don't have to watch that hellish video a second time. Please, my eyes hurt. Ow.
Thank you so much, Wasp Baby Cheese. I really appreciate it. So
they donated Great British Pound, which is $13. So I guess that technically.
Nope. Shut up. There's we'll have a talk after this. Thank you for the 10, and thank you for counteracting that. I appreciate it.
But my life kind of became a disaster last year. I don't need to get into all the details here on YouTube, but just so much interpersonal drama and stress points in my life ended up making it really hard to actually get many videos done. Or really anything.
What?
Watch the video a second time.
Okay, and now the ante has been upped. Thank you for the 20.
I should have done more. But like, what's the use in dwelling on the past or what could have been all the time? I want to move forward, and to be honest...
I want to move forward. And what I want to move forward into is jacking off to kids. Huh.
To do that, I feel like I need to...
What?
Thank you, Gila, for the 20. We're back to no.
Reinvent myself again. At least a little. This exact Sam is getting a little stuffy, you know? Ironically, I feel a bit more non-binary than I did when I first turned into this. And like, I don't know. I don't know if I really want to rock the anime schoolgirl outfit for the rest of my life. I tried really hard to stop myself from doing this again. To stick to one thing, to have brand...
Rail and skip?
Thank you so much for the 50, Jathus. Evie's gonna struggle against that. The 20 plus the 50. My god. Thank you.
Fuck brand consistency. I'm gonna do what makes me happy. And what would make me happy right now is doing this.
Not jacking it to kids.
So that's, well, no, actually, jacking it to kids would make them happy, given the fact that they are a lolicon. But, so, I think we watched, okay, we watched the ones that we were wanting to watch there.
I hate all of you.
So, let me get to the derails here.